Welcome. For more than 40 years, our work has focused on a simple but profound question. How do human beings grow into who we are? Natural learning relationships emerged from observing children, families, educators, and communities, and from recognizing that development does not happen in isolation. We are born with capacities that emerge in relationships. This presentation introduces a relational approach to human development based on identity, meaning, and connection. In the next few minutes, we will explore why development cannot be forced, how relationships shape learning and identity, and why children value different things at different ages. We'll also look at something that is often overlooked. Adults continue developing through their relationships with children. One of the most important discoveries in developmental work is that the same act of love, care, and guidance is experienced differently at different ages. A child does not simply need more guidance when they're young and less guidance when they're older. They need different kinds of relationships. When adults understand how a child is experiencing the world, their guidance becomes more effective, more compassionate, and more developmentally appropriate. This understanding is at the heart of natural learning relationships' whole child development. In natural learning relationship, it rests on three core insights. First, human capacities are innate. Second, development unfolds through relationship. And third, development continues throughout life. Children develop, and adults develop as well. And relationships become one of the primary vehicles through which that development occurs. In natural learning relationships, we use the term field of knowing. A field of knowing is the way a child experiences and understands the world at a particular period of development. Rather than asking, what stage is this child in, we ask, what way of knowing is organizing this child's experience right now? That shift helps us focus less on labeling and more on understanding. Each field of knowing organizes experience differently. Each has unique developmental needs, motivations, and ways of communicating. As children grow, they move through developmental transitions that reshape how they learn, how they form relationships, and how they make meaning of the world around them. The task of the adult is not to accelerate development. The task is to understand it. Natural learning relationships describes four primary fields of knowing: body being, feeling being, ideal being, and reasonable being. These age ranges are approximate rather than fixed. The purpose is not classification. The purpose is to understand the developmental capacities that are emerging during each field of knowing. The child's perception changes as they grow. This progression reflects a profound shift in how children perceive reality, experience themselves and others, and make meaning of the world around them. In body being, the world is experienced largely through me at the center. In feeling being, awareness expands to me and other in relationship. In ideal being, the teenager begins forming an individual identity and learning healthy self-governance. In reasonable being, questions of meaning, enduring values that last through time, purpose, and contribution begin to emerge. As development unfolds, perception becomes increasingly differentiated, integrated, and complex. Each field of knowing represents a distinct way of perceiving and making meaning of experience. Consider a simple example. Imagine an adult saying, "I'd like you to help clean up before dinner." A 5-year-old embodied being may experience that request primarily through connection with the adult and immediate participation in the activity. The relationship itself carries much of the meaning. A 15-year-old in ideal being often experiences the very same request very differently. The adolescent is developing autonomy, identity, and healthy self-governance. The question is no longer simply, "What do you want me to do?" It might become, "Well, why do I have to do it now? I'll do it later. How does this fit with who I am?" The guidance is the same. The experience is different. When adults recognize these differences, relationships become more effective and more respectful of development. The developing brain. Modern neuroscience continues to affirm what many developmental thinkers have long understood. Relationships shape development. The developing brain grows in constant interaction with experience. The quality of those experiences influences not only learning and behavior, but also emotional regulation, identity, and well-being. Development occurs in relationship. Healthy development cannot be forced. No adult can make development happen. What adults can do is create conditions that support its emergence. A child's sense of self develops with relationships, families, and communities. When adults understand developmental needs and respond appropriately, they create conditions in which access to innate capacities and well-being becomes possible. The brain is a social organ. Trust increases openness to learning. Connection supports emotional health, resilience, and growth. Connection is not a technique. It's not a manipulation. Connection is the foundation upon which healthy development rests. With the right relationship at the right time and in the right way, development can unfold in remarkably positive ways. Adults grow with children. In natural learning relationships, it's not just about supporting children. It's also about supporting adults. Meaning is formed in relationship. Parents, grandparents, teachers, mentors, counselors, and all caregivers all continue developing through their relationships with children. When developmental needs are understood and supported, everyone benefits. Children flourish, adults grow, and relationships deepen. Every child carries innate capacities waiting to emerge. Development unfolds through relationship. When developmental needs are met, well-being becomes possible. And as children grow, adults grow as well. We do not grow alone. We grow together. Thank you.